Hello teacher, I'm going to present to you my lesson plans. In this case, I'm going to present the PPP lesson plan. So first of all, we have here the generalities. First we have the class and the section. And for this lesson plan, I will be working with advanced English. So here we have the teacher, and the lesson will be future tense, unit 5, and practitioners. So then we have the objective, that is the most essential of the lesson. This is what we want to achieve at the end of the class. So for the objective, I have at the end of the class, students will be able to share the 5 principal goals they want to achieve in the next 5 years, using will and going to by having an 8 minutes role play with a partner. So then we have here the development of the class. We have the presentation. The presentation involves the schema activation, the vocabulary presentation, the real life example, and the explanation. So for the schema activation, as we know, the schema activation, or the purpose of the schema activation, is to get an idea about what the students know about the topic that you will be developing in the class. So I have chosen a hot potato game, and the activity is the next one. Through the game hot potato, the teacher will ask questions in which students need to use future tense. And here I have written some of the questions that they will have to answer. What will you do the next weekend? When will you visit your grandparents? How do you see yourself in 5 years? What will you do tomorrow? The time that I will spend for this activity will be 8 minutes, and the material that I will need is just the paper. Then we pass to the vocabulary presentation. The purpose is to teach the new words the students need to understand. The students need to understand to develop the class with the new words that they need in order to understand the rest of the class. So the time that we will spend in the activity will be 7 minutes. The materials we need will be images and tape. The activity will be this one. Students will have to relate the words written in the board by the teacher with a set of images that they will have in the table, and link each image with a word. So basically, students will have to make a relationship between some words that they will have in the board and some images that I will provide them in a table. So they have to choose an image and the word that resembles the image. The activity will be done in 2 groups, so there will be a winner, the one with more accuracy in the relation of words and images. So as you know, students always want to have like a winner and a loser, and that motivates them to do the best. Then we have the real life example. The purpose is to show how future tense, in this case that is the topic of the lesson, is used in real life. So for this activity, I will present the listening, my expectations about my next trip to Europe. Then the teacher will write on the board 5 sentences. 3 of them are going to be true, and the other 2 will be false according to the activities mentioned in the listening. Students have to tell which ones are true or false. So in this activity, they have to pay attention to the reading, because I will write on the board 5 sentences, and according to the activities that were mentioned in the listening, that will be related with future tenses, right? They're going to choose which one of them were said in the audio and which one didn't. For this activity, we will spend 3 minutes, and the materials will be the board and a speaker. Then we have the explanation and the CCQs. The purpose is to explain the grammar rules. In this step, they are going to have a clearer idea about the topic. And here the teacher will stick on the board some pieces of paper with different colors. The pieces of paper will have written a word. It will not be placed in the correct order, so students will have to order the structure. For that, each color of paper will represent the order. Color blue will be a noun, color pink an auxiliary, and color red a verb. So what they are going to do is to learn the structure of the future tenses. And then for me to know if they have understood the correct order or the explanation of the topic, I will write on the board some sentences structured incorrectly. Students will have to order the arrangement of words, but this time they're going to do it by their own. So I will realize if they have understood the arrangement of words they need to use when writing future tenses, or if they need reinforcement. Then we have here the practice. Sorry, for this, the explanation, we're going to spend 15 minutes, and the material will be the paper, board, and maker. Then we have the practice. The first activity that we will have will be a trivia activity. The purpose of this activity is to check if the students have comprehended the topic or if they need reinforcement. So, using Mentimeter, present questions with a set of answers. The students will have to choose the correct options. Teacher gives feedback when necessary because this activity needs to be controlled. For this activity, I will spend 7 minutes, and the materials will be the Mentimeter presentation. Then we have the activity 2. The purpose is the students' use of grammar structure by their own with less teacher's control on the activity. The activity will be fill in the gap. The teacher will share a page with a set of incomplete sentences that students will have to complete by their own. The students will have to present their answers to the class. So for this activity, we're going to spend 10 minutes, and the materials that we will need will be paper and paper sheets. Then we have the activity number 3. The purpose is a student's use of the language using future tense. So for this step, they already know how to use the grammar topic. So the teacher will ask students to write 10 sentences using will and going to about their expectation for the next class year. They later will share their sentences with the class. And for this activity, we're going to spend 5 minutes. And we will not need material. Then we have the production, the final activity. The purpose of the production is to use the content, will, and going to in productive skills. So in the production, as the same word says, they are going to produce the language. They are going to produce the topic that the teacher have explained in the class. And here they are going to show if they have had a good understanding of the topic. For this activity, the teacher will ask them to think about 5 goals they want to achieve in the next 5 years and how they are going to do it. Ask them to perform an interview in pairs in which one of them is going to be the interviewer and the other one the interviewed. Then they have to change roles in order for them to participate, all of them, right? So this will be basically my PPP lesson plan.